All right, so we have a few news here. A little bit, a few news. What amazing English. So Proton made a tweet a few days ago when the data download hit on the actually not a few days ago. This was yesterday. He said after the latest data download, we have two ID gaps between the two tables. The ID ratios between the two are 77 and 419. So he's talking about wait here, like something over here, right? So he said between 7 7. What? Whatever, man. Anyway, so he said this seems to be a very obvious TREZA or and a very obvious LREZA. Okay, so a very obvious TUREZA is this guy. Let me turn on my lights here. So like. So a very obvious TUREZA is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Okay, now we were under the impression, or we expected him to get an EZA alongside the rest of the EZAs that we got in the beginning of part 2, like the 10. We thought that he was going to be part of the 10. But he wasn't. We also thought that LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Trunks and Super Saiyan Trunks are going to be coming alongside of Zamasu, right? But they did not. Which we've seen this before, where they would save EZAs for like part 3. I'm pretty sure during the Future Saga Worldwide, they did that with Rose, and they saved him for part 3. So very obvious. We are most likely going to be getting this EZA. And alongside with Vegeta and Trunks, because he did say that these two spots are obviously TUR and LR EZAs. However, this can easily change. Okay, but so an EZA for this guy would be extremely amazing, or not need. I mean, it wouldn't be really needed, but it'd still be really good. For the unfortunate people who did not pull Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you would have this guy EZA alongside the physical one, right, alongside this guy, and you would have an amazing rotation, right? And this guy already has a very good base kit, right? He really raises attack and defense. He has a high attack and defense already starting off. He has a beginning a buff for 8 turns. He's effective against all types. He can nullify, right, any super attack, by the way. Unlike this guy who only nullifies what's it called? Attack or key super. What the hell, man? Keys. English, yo, English. I swear to God, sometimes my English don't be Englishing. Key blast supers. Where is it? Nullifies and counters. A key blast super. Oh my God, man. So he counters and nullifies, or nullifies and counters, and he also has this, right? It was which Gogeta has, the father of the game. He has it. However, his is 70%, but also Gogeta is, he gets this when attacking, right? So like this guy is extremely powerful. I mean, and they could literally, if they give Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta this exact kit, oh my God, bro, would he be cracked? He wouldn't be on the same level as this guy, obviously, but he would be dumb as hell, right? Obviously, his nullification and counter would be a lot better because, this is only Key Blast Super. Or, you know what they can do? They can keep this high chance and just make him guaranteed nullify and counter Key Blast Supers, which would be very good. So this guy, he can activate it when he receives 4 attacks. He activates it when he receives 1 attack. So very similar kit here. Except this guy doesn't raise attack and defense on super, but he does do this. So, and he also has a great chance of massively raising attack for 1 turn. So he gets this and this, right? He also gets it here. So their EZA, very good to have it. So a very possible LR EZA, which would be our friend here, who was once the best unit in the game. Now, Truth makes a very valid statement when he says that if a unit has ran the game for like 6 months or whatever, and then they fall off, I don't think Bandai would, or I don't think Omatsu or whoever the devs would come back and be like, all right, we're gonna make you the king of the game again, right? We've seen this similar to this guy, right? Who was, I wouldn't say they were the best units in the game. I don't think when they came out there was a best unit in the game. It was just like the most viable unit in the game, I guess, right? But there wasn't a best unit in the game because they weren't the best of the best. In terms of like relativity to other units, yes, they were better than other units, but they weren't like crazy like, you know, this guy was. This guy was like above that level of craziness, although they came out after. So they guard for 5 turns on like as part of their intro, 70% defense, and they guard, and then they build it up here, and then they get guard in slot 1, which made them the slot 1 king at the time. Now I don't think Dokkan would go back to doing this, but I would very love, love very much that they would. You know, this guy doesn't need much. You just give him super attack effects, a better super attack effect. You make him stack here. Give him like damage reduction, high damage reduction. Just give him like unconditional guard. Although this is not like really bad, but what if I don't want to run him in slot 1? Then he just sucks, right? This can stay the same, I guess. They can just give him attack, right? Their active skill is very good. If they stack attack on both supers, they can really do a lot of damage with their super attack effect here. Okay, so and then he said, and now the only thing that explains the remaining ratio of IDs is another LR EZA or 3 super EZAs. So the way they do super EZAs is that 3 of them counts as 1, right? So they'll put 1, or they put 3 super EZAs in 1 ID, which would kind of signify that these 3 would be getting a super EZA. Okay, now these 2 they have similar kits. Why is this guy's, hold on. Okay. Are we, bro, this website, bro. All right, so this guy and Fusion Zamasu, they have similar kit. So they have an attack. He has an attack as well, 140%. He supports Realm of God's defense. He also does Realm of God's defense, extreme class. Extreme class enemies minus 20% to whatever, and then he has it here too. He also debuffs allies, which is stupid. High chance to stun, and he doesn't have any of that. But this guy actually, this guy's super easy. It would be a lot because he already raises attack and defense for 3 turns, whereas Fusion Zamasu does not. So this would be very exciting. I'm very excited for his EZA because actually I do really like this unit. When I started playing, he was one of the units I really wanted to get, and this was back when units did not come back as often as they do now, or they were not as accessible. Right now we have like the stone, the premium stones. We can just buy them whenever we want. Same thing for this guy. He was very good. He came out with when did he come out? Oh, he came out with this guy. They were on the same banner. We can actually take a look. Featured banners. We go all the way down. Yeah, they were on the same banner, which I don't think they've done this ever since this. So they were on the same banner. Now this guy's a nuking lead. Again, he doesn't raise defense, so they're gonna have to kind of compensate with that. They could make him similar to like Tech Cell or Int Buhan in the sense that he just gains damage reduction or guard off of how many rainbow key spheres he obtains, and he does create rainbow key spheres, right? They can just, but it's limited, so they can just remove that kind of restriction and just, you know, make him just like, you know, Buhan and Tech Cell. Him, I guess they could just make him a better Tech Fusion Zamasu, because there is one like with the same name. I don't know why he's named whatever, man. The LR Tech Fusion Zamasu, they can just make him similar. Again, he doesn't raise defense, so I'm pretty sure the best one out of the batch would be this one. So this should be very exciting. All right, now we move on to this, and ULR and TUR, right? So Rick here, he quotes this, and he says, so the LR here does seem more likely to be summonable, since there's even one more slot missing from the card Awakenings table. The table for required Awakening medals and free-to-play units usually only require 1 set of Awakening medals. So he's saying basically that free-to-play cards, if this was a free-to-play LR or whatever, a free-to-play unit, it would just require 1 set medals per awakening. But because it might be an LR, there is another slot that is missing, right? Because you know how like a free-to-play LR only has one slot of like medals, right? Every free-to-play LR, actually most of them, right? All the Prime Battle LRs, the Bardock, or the Quest Mode LRs, they only require 1 set of medals or 1 group of medals, whereas our usual summonable LRs, they require 1 here and then 2 here, so technically 3 or whatever. So he's saying that since there's even 1 more slot missing of the card awakening table, the table required for awakening medals, and that free-to-play units usually just get 1. So this means that in part 3, or potentially EX part, we will be seeing another summonable unit, and we did see this in the 10th anniversary where we got Daima Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta, as he was part of the 10th anniversary, as they did say he was, right? So now we're speculating that it might be LR Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. All right, so another clue that it might be an LR or another character related to the celebration is that after they added, they have these units right here, right? So this means that they updated this post after the part 2 units became available. And then here it says, please note that you can only exchange for the same character once, okay? This is basically means you can buy the character once with the coins. You can't just buy however many copies you want, like the regular coins. And they say more characters will become available for exchange as new summon events are released during the campaign period. Okay. Now, they're definitely not talking about these two, Omega and Gogeta, because they're already here. This was updated after, so it wouldn't make sense for them to say that more characters will become available when they're already available. So this means that part 3 will definitely have another unit that we can exchange with these coins, which means it's possible, and it's not going to be a TUR because TURs get their own coins, right? They get their own pity coins, which is 200. So this is definitely going to be an LR, right? And only LRs can be exchanged with these kind of coins. Again, TURs get their own coins. They don't have coins like this. So you'll be able to buy whatever unit that is coming with 500 coins, right? So this post right here, we see Abu, he's like, we're not getting the adult forms of Goku and Vegeta. It'll most likely be mini SSJ4 Goku. And I was like, we've said this 3 times already. 3rd time's the charm, right? And he said, trust me, bro, he's coming. Please, bro. And I'm ready with my coins. I have 500 coins ready. So whatever unit drops, I am ready. I don't need to summon, bro. I'm good. I already have my Gogeta at like 90, like 89% or something. So I'm still summoning for him to get just the last copy. But I'm ready, bro. So let's talk about what Super Saiyan 4 Mini Daima Vegeta will probably bring to the table. If he is a Dokkan Fest, he's probably going to be leading. Part of his leader skill is probably going to be Grade 8 Power or Giant 8 Power or whatever. And then the other would be like Daima, like a Daima related. Not Daima. I don't think, because Daima's done, right? Or unless there's like Daima 2 or something. I don't know. But I would assume that his category would be like Pure Saiyans or something, man. Some Pure Saiyan's Giant 8 Power and Revival, right? Because he does have a Revival. Imagine it's most likely going to be like a Daima Super Saiyan 3 that revives into Super Saiyan 4. So that would be very, very good. In the same animation that old Elder Namekian gave him. I forgot his name, but this would be his category, which would be fine because we have 3 of the best units in the game on this category in the forms of Gogeta, the father of the game, Super Saiyan 3/Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who is still kind of the father of the game. And then we have the limited buffs for these 3 right here. So this will be very good. And then we have the super easy A's for these bad boys here. Where are they? No, brother. What? Wait, they're not on. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have the super easy A's for these guys here. And then we're getting with the easy A for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here. This would be a very, very dumb team to run, right? And I'm pretty sure he'll be. Actually, no, he won't be on GT Heroes because that wouldn't make sense. Would they make like a Daima Heroes category, right? But there's only like 5 Daima units or 4 Daima units without counting the free-to-play. And would Glorio count as a Daima hero? Or the Glorio we have now count as a Daima hero? Because we still don't have like Majin Ku, Majin Du. We still don't have like Goma, right? Goma would definitely lead demonic power. So we still don't have those units. But very exciting, very exciting. A new LR and TUR actually. So there might be, it might be a Dokkan Fest where he gets like a new LR and then a support unit. Could you imagine? Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku and a banner unit Majin Ku. Oh, perfect combination there, sir. But that's all I got. If you guys have anything to say, if you guys think differently, if you guys agree, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.